The village of Aoi was a place of tranquility. Nestled among bamboo forests and rice paddies, it was a tapestry of vibrant green hues. At the heart of this serene existence was Yuta, a boy of 10, known for his kind heart and infectious laughter. He treated every villager with respect and warmth. He helped his parents in the fields, played with his friends by the river. Little did he know that this idyllic existence was teetering on the brink of destruction. Lord Akio, a man consumed by greed and ambition, cast a covetous eye on Aoi's fertile lands. He demanded exorbitant taxes from the villagers, leaving them struggling to survive. He sent his samurai warriors to enforce his will, their presence casting a pall over the once joyful village. Fear and resentment festered in the hearts of the villagers, but they were powerless to resist. One fateful day, Lord Akio's tax collectors arrived in Aoi, their faces grim, their demands unreasonable. They stormed through the village, their voices laced with threats and insults. Yuta watched in horror as they ransacked homes, confiscating meager possessions and leaving despair in their wake. Yuta's parents, known for their strong sense of justice, refused to yield to the tyrant's demands. They rallied the villagers, urging them to stand up for their rights. Hana, her voice trembling with anger, declared, "We will not be treated like slaves in our own homes. We have a right to the fruits of our labor." Taro, his eyes blazing with defiance, added, "We must stand together against this injustice, or we will surely perish." Their words ignited a spark of hope in the hearts of the villagers. News of Aoi's defiance reached Lord Akio, enraging him. He vowed to make an example of the insolent villagers. One moonless night, as the villagers slept, Lord Akio's forces descended upon Aoi. The samurai, their faces hidden behind demonic masks, stormed through the village, their swords gleaming under the pale moonlight. Screams pierced the night, shattering the tranquility that had once defined Aoi. Houses were set ablaze, casting an eerie orange glow against the night sky. The air grew thick with the smell of smoke and the metallic tang of blood. Yuta, awakened by the commotion, cowered in fear as the samurai stormed into his home. He watched in disbelief as his parents fought bravely, their farm tools no match for the samurai's gleaming katanas. He witnessed, with horror, his parents cut down, their bodies collapsing onto the blood-soaked floor. Yuta, paralyzed by grief and terror, could only watch from his hiding place as the samurai set fire to his home. As flames engulfed the house, Yuta knew he had to escape if he wanted to survive. He slipped out of his hiding place and fled into the night, the screams of his fellow villagers echoing in his ears. Yuta ran until his lungs burned, the image of his parents' lifeless bodies seared into his mind. The once kind-hearted boy was gone, replaced by a burning desire for vengeance. He vowed to avenge his parents' deaths and bring Lord Akio to justice. One day, as Yuta stumbled through a dense forest, he collapsed from exhaustion. He was found by a wandering monk named Master Kenji. Under Master Kenji's guidance, Yuta began mastering the art of the sword. He trained tirelessly, his mind honed to razor sharpness. Master Kenji taught him that true strength lies in protecting the innocent and upholding justice. Section 5, Master of the Blade. Years passed and Yuta blossomed under Master Kenji's tutelage. He grew into a skilled swordsman, his movements swift and precise, his strikes deadly. He mastered various fighting styles, his proficiency with the katana unmatched. The fire of vengeance still burned within him, but it was tempered by Master Kenji's teachings, transformed into a steely determination to fight for justice. He was no longer the scared boy who had fled his burning village. He was Yuta, the sword of Aoi, ready to face his destiny. The day came when Master Kenji deemed Yuta ready to face his past. "You have learned well, Yuta," he said, his voice filled with pride. "You have the skills to defeat any opponent, but true victory lies in conquering the darkness within yourself. Remember, vengeance is a double-edged sword. It can consume you if you let it. Choose your path wisely, Yuta." With a heavy heart, Yuta bid farewell to Master Kenji and set off for Aoi, his sword strapped to his back, his heart filled with a mix of trepidation and resolve. Section 6, Return to Ashes. The journey back to Aoi was filled with a mixture of anticipation and dread. As Yuta approached his former home, he was greeted by a chilling sight. The once vibrant village was now a desolate wasteland. Charred timbers and crumbling foundations were all that remained of the homes that once stood proudly amidst the rice paddies. The air was heavy with silence, the joyous laughter of children replaced by the mournful chirping of crickets. Yuta wandered through the ruins of his village, his heart sinking with each step. The devastation was absolute, a grim testament to Lord Akio's cruelty. As he stood in what was once the village square, a wave of grief washed over him, threatening to drown him in sorrow. Memories of his childhood, of happy days spent with his family and friends, flooded his mind, amplifying the pain of his loss. But amidst the despair, a glimmer of hope emerged. Yuta noticed a small group of villagers huddled around a makeshift fire. They were the remnants of Aoi, those who had survived the massacre and Lord Akio's reign of terror. The survivors were a shadow of their former selves, their faces etched with pain and hardship. They had lived in hiding for years, ruled by fear and haunted by the memories of that horrific night. Yet despite their suffering, the embers of hope flickered in their eyes as they saw Yuta standing before them. Word had spread of a young warrior who had mastered the art of the sword, a beacon of hope in their darkest hour. They saw in Yuta a chance for retribution, an opportunity to break free from Lord Akio's tyranny. Yuta listened intently as the villagers shared their stories of survival and suffering. He learned of the brutal conditions they had endured under Lord Akio's rule, of families torn apart, of spirits crushed under the weight of oppression. He saw the fear in their eyes, but he also saw the flicker of defiance, the yearning for freedom that burned within their hearts. Yuta knew then that he couldn't abandon them to their fate. He vowed to help them reclaim their village, to avenge the innocent lives lost, and to usher in a new era of peace and prosperity for Aoi. Word of Yuta's return and his growing following reached Lord Akio, who scoffed at the notion of a few villagers challenging his authority. He dispatched a contingent of his fiercest samurai warriors to crush the fledgling rebellion. However, he underestimated the villagers' newfound courage and Yuta's tactical brilliance. The final battle took place on the outskirts of the ruined village, the setting sun casting long shadows across the battlefield. The air crackled with tension as the two forces faced each other. The villagers armed with whatever weapons they could salvage, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and anticipation. The clash was fierce and bloody, the sound of steel against steel echoing through the valley. Yuta, a whirlwind of motion, fought with the fury of a man possessed, his katana flashing like lightning. He moved with precision and grace, his years of training evident in every strike. The villagers, inspired by Yuta's courage and skill, fought with newfound ferocity, their desire for freedom outweighing their fear. One by one, Lord Akio's samurai fell, their bodies littering the battlefield. Finally, only Lord Akio remained, his face contorted with rage and fear. He charged at Yuta, his katana raised high, desperation fueling his attack. Yuta met his gaze, their swords clashing in a shower of sparks. The force of their blows shook the ground, the air thick with the smell of sweat and blood. Yuta, fueled by years of pent-up anger and the desire for revenge, gained the upper hand. He disarmed Lord Akio, his katana pointed at the tyrant's throat, the taste of victory bittersweet on his tongue. As Yuta looked into Lord Akio's eyes, he saw not a monster, but a broken man consumed by his own demons. He remembered Master Kenji's words, "True victory lies in conquering the darkness within yourself." With a deep breath, Yuta lowered his sword, choosing mercy over vengeance. He realized that killing Lord Akio would not bring back his parents or rebuild his village. It would only perpetuate the cycle of violence and hatred. Word of Yuta's act of mercy spread like wildfire, transforming him from a warrior seeking vengeance into a symbol of hope and forgiveness. Inspired by his example, the villagers began the arduous task of rebuilding their lives and their home. Under Yuta's leadership, Aoi slowly rose from the ashes, stronger and more united than before. The villagers, once fractured by fear and distrust, learned to work together, their shared experience forging an unbreakable bond. Yuta, once a boy driven by vengeance, became a wise and compassionate leader, guiding his people with wisdom and strength. He taught them the importance of forgiveness, unity, and the enduring power of the human spirit. The tale of Yuta, the sword of Aoi, became a legend whispered on the wind, a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness and the enduring strength found in unity.